Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George. If this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, I invite you to do so, especially towards the end of the year here. It'd be great to get as many subscribers joining the Knicks-Verse as possible. And also, definitely drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your comments and hit the thumbs up button for me, especially after a game like tonight, or today, should I say. And I feel like I've been saying this often, because the New York Knicks somehow inexplicably didn't come out with the fire and desire that is required to beat a top team. A top team. You have to bring it. You have to leave everything on the floor, and the Knicks did not. They were out-hustled. They were outclassed, actually. So let's get to it here. One thing, let's just get to this summary here. I pulled it from NBA TV. As you can see, Brunson, tremendous. If it weren't for him, forget about it. Brunson, 36 points, 15 of 26 field goal shooting, 3 rebounds for him, and 7 assists. The 7 assists were matched by both Dame Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Both had 7 assists each, and each provided 28 and 19. As you can see, very balanced scoring for the Bucks, not so much for the Knicks. RJ Barrett had a nice fourth quarter, but the first 3 quarters were absolutely abysmal. Time is running out for this situation with RJ Barrett, and I hate to say it. It pains me to say it. I am a huge RJ Barrett supporter and a fan. I believe in him, but the way this team is shaping up at the moment, it desperately needs him to step up and become a more consistent player. Can't go through these droughts like this anymore. It's becoming troublesome, worrisome, and I believe the clock is ticking, especially with the deadline coming. So if RJ Barrett can't shake out of this situation, big decisions are going to have to be made soon. However, the worst part about it is his trade value has diminished. Every day a performance like this gets put out there, it diminishes even further. Makes it harder for Leon to kind of put together a package that isn't, we're not like going to get, ripped off. So there's a lot of things to be concerned about, but at the same time, don't want to over dramatize it in terms of the team itself. The Bucks are an excellent team. Look, they're 22-7. They have the 3rd best record in the NBA. The Knicks are now 0-3 against them. So you can see Hartenstein, 12 points, 13 rebounds, effective, but he picked up 2 fouls in the first few seconds of the game. He had to go out of the game, and that really severely crippled what the Knicks could do in that first quarter. And first quarters are essential for setting the tone for the game. Disturbing. Let me move on to this before I get to the high. I do have highlights for you guys. So I tweeted this out at the end of the game. This game would have been a 40-point thrashing by the Bucks if not for Jalen Brunson's heroics. Knicks lose 130-111 to Milwaukee. Brunson today, 36 points, 7 assists on 15 of 26 shooting, 3 of 5 from the three-point line. Christmas Day, they go at it again. Will Thibs adjust his pack the paint, ignore the perimeter defense? Let's see how you can leave a team like the Bucks, who is one of the more superior three-point shooting teams in the league. How you can leave them repeatedly wide open on the three-point line is a head scratcher to me. Several times, even on fast break or in transition, sometimes there were 3-4 Knicks in the paint and 3 open Bucks out on the perimeter who all can hit the three-point shot. The ball just a nice, easy pass out there. They don't even need to make the extra pass because they're just sitting there waiting. Guys like Beasley, Middleton, Dame Lillard, they just light it up. And tonight they lit us up for 16 of 32 from the three-point line, 50%. They shot 50%. That's right. That is a mind-boggling number right there. They shot 52.7% overall. Let's go to the next tweet here. Fred Katz. The Bucks have shot at least 50% from 3 on at least 30 3-point attempts in all 3 games they've played against the Knicks this season. The only other time that they've shot 50% from 3 was one other time, was against one other team. So of the 4 times they've done it, 3 of them have come against the Knicks. That to me screams something is definitely wrong with the defensive scheme. We don't even give ourselves a chance to be able to claw back into games if we keep allowing the Bucks to take comfortable 3-point looks. I just don't understand it. How this drop coverage trumps everything else. It cannot. You have to stunt. You have to get out there. You have to double team. You have to get out on the perimeter. Not 3 steps behind the 3-point line. You can tell I'm frustrated. Tommy Beer. Knicks versus the Bucks Celtics this season. 0-6. 0-6. Knicks versus all other teams in the East this season. 11-1. You know, there's 2 ways to look at this. One is we just can't compete against the best teams. The other way is we are one of the best teams just below the very best teams. You know, I'm sure most Knicks fans at the beginning of the season, if they heard that we would finish fourth in the NBA, in the East by the end of the season, we'd be ecstatic. But this trend right here is a little bit troublesome because it obviously it reveals that we can't beat the best teams. I'm not so sold on that. This is the way I look at it. The best teams ain't fucking with us. They're not fucking around. They're not going to take a game off. They're not going to chill against the Knicks. Every team gets up for the Knicks now because if you listen to the way announcers talk about this team, the guys who cover the play-by-play guys, because I get to hear, I've mentioned this before, I get to hear the other announcers when I watch the other coverage as well. They take this team seriously. And the Bucks, when they come to MSG, they want to make a statement. Celtics, when they face New York, they want to make a statement. Well, they're making that statement loud and clear, that they're better than the Knicks. But this other statement they're making is they're not going to take this team lightly. The Knicks somehow have to figure out how to get from here, where they are right now, to turning that into at least a 500 record. Maybe for the rest of the way. I don't know how many games I think we have 2 games left against the Bucks, maybe 3 against the Celtics or whatever. We need to scrape out some wins against them. They have to figure it out. But the way to do it is you have to play your best up and down the lineup. Mistake-free. You have to be connected on a string defensively, and you have to defend out on the perimeter because what are the 2 things these 2 teams have in common? They have players all around that can hit the 3. From the 1 to the 5. Both teams have guys who can hit the 3. Bucks are the only ones that have one guy who's weak, which is Giannis, and we know what he can do. So that is something that's going to have to change if this team is going to go, further. Maybe it doesn't happen this season. Maybe it doesn't. And it will be tough to deal with. Because I know that when this team is clicking on all cylinders, they are incredibly tough to beat. Even if another team plays their very best and the Knicks play their very best, it will be a tough finish either way. So right now, I'm looking at one specific player, and his name is RJ Barrett. I'm looking at RJ. He cannot continue like this, struggling like this. Like I said earlier, it's going to make it very difficult for Leon. He's going to have to make a move, but it's going to be selling low. So I would rather we don't get to that situation. Personally, because I believe in the guy. I want one of our draft picks to become, a real piece here. And he is. He has. There's no doubt that he hasn't. He has. But right now is when we need him the most. And right now is when he's letting us down the most. His defense, he definitely has been there defensively. Guarding guys like Middleton when they're on, they're tough. Same with Dame, but RJ is often the guy who, when the other guy misses, he was the one on him now. So on that end, he gets props. Offensively, he's got to get smarter. He's got to embrace his facilitator role. I put out a whole video, an analytical video with my son, explaining his importance to winning. When he gets 2 assists more per game, this team wins. All 15 wins are connected to that. In fact, I have some stats to show you here. Here, in case you missed that video, this was the key final slide. This was proving that passing, ball movement, and player movement is the key for the Knicks to win. And all 15 wins, the Knicks average, this is when I did this 2 games ago. All 15 wins, the Knicks had passed to an average of 282.2 times per game. That's an additional 8, almost 19 more passes per game than when they lose. And that results in 26.2 assists, almost at 27 assists per game, which is where you need to be a top team in the NBA. We're at 20 assists in losses. So that's almost 6 assist swing. 6 assists equal 12 points. That equals winning most games. And the hockey assists. When you pass more, you increase your second chance opportunities. Now, that is been severely impacted by missing Mitchell Robinson, obviously. But Isaiah Hartenstein is an excellent offensive rebounder, and we have great offensive rebounders on the team. Hart, even Randall. So we can, maybe that stat doesn't stay that good, but it shouldn't drop that much. The key, look at the three-point shooting. Obviously, when we win, we hit our buckets, but it's also because the ball is moving more, getting us easier looks at the basket. Now, I'm going to show you how many assists there were tonight. Here we go. The Knicks had 17 assists tonight. So I just showed you that card. So how can you win when you only have 17 assists? I saw it earlier on in the game when the Knicks were hanging around, but the ball was sticking too much. Too much dribble, too much ISO ball, not enough extra passes being made, and not enough cutting, to be honest, to even give the ball handler an opportunity to find somebody. You know, just dunking it to the next guy who's got a guy on him isn't moving the ball. That's not what we mean by that. We mean find a weakness in the defense and get the ball to that spot. That's what we mean. This is it. I mean, I don't know what more to say. When the ball stops moving, the team loses. That's it. Actually, exemplified by the incredible heroics of Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, I mean, he was outstanding, right? But he was doing it almost all by himself today. So even if you have a great player who's giving you 36 points on a night when you desperately need it, where other people are struggling, it's not going to be enough if the whole team is not involved. This is now the 3rd game that we've lost to the Bucks where one of our players went off for a big game. Now, we didn't reach, I think 40, Randall had 40-something previously, and then Brunson had 44. Both were losses. Tonight, what was it, 38 for Brunson, 36? So close. He probably would have gotten more if we kind of kept feeding him. So these are the things. Let's get to the highlights here. All right, the Knicks, we got off to a decent start. We were fighting through it. The first quarter, though, again, because Hartenstein had to leave, it weakened us tremendously, and we were down 36-27 at the end of the first quarter. The second quarter, we kind of stopped the bleeding a bit and won that one 27-26, but went into the half down 8. Though at one point, the lead had been built up a little further, and the Knicks were able to chop that down a bit towards the end. The biggest lead for Milwaukee was 22. The Knicks actually at one time had a 1-point lead. But the fast break points. The Milwaukee Bucks were a plus 11 tonight in fast break points. They had 22. We had 11. Look at even moments like this. This is what I mean by Outhustled, outclassed. So Dame comes down, hits the side of the backboard. No one immediately blocks him out. He gets his own rebound, misses it, and then Giannis puts it back. So that's 3 shot attempts they had right there. Now, I know that's Mitch. We're missing Mitch. And that's just Giannis steamrolling. Giannis being Giannis right there. They built up, I think they got like a 15-point lead in that second quarter, maybe 16. They built it up to a 16-point lead in the second quarter. And, shout out to the guttiness of the Knicks, the lunch pill aspect of the Knicks, like plays like that with Randall. They were able to chop that 16-point deficit in half to 8 going into the halftime. Quickly was a bit disappointing tonight. I mean, I'm using that word disappointing a lot because it really fits this game. Let's see. Quickly finished 2 of 8 overall. 1 of 5 from the 3-point line. Only 1 assist for him. A minus 11 tonight. 7 points. All right. There you go. Now that, I mean, that's just, it's a good shot made by Dame. But if Dame wasn't feeling it, he could easily have kicked it out to Connaughton, who was wide open on the left area there. There it is, Brunson keeping us in. Now it's a 10-point deficit coming into, and then he hits this miracle shot right here. His foot was on the line, so it wasn't a three-pointer. And they went into the half 62-54. Now the third quarter, these key third quarters that we keep having here. Where is this scene here? Here we go. We lost the third quarter 38-33. We allowed the most points in that third quarter that we allowed all game. But we scored 33. So we were minus 5, but then we're down minus 13 going into the fourth quarter, which also was even worse earlier. Brunson, his little turnaround, he's just unstoppable when he's on. But then those heroics kind of left him, which is probably why he didn't finish with a 40-point game. He did not score at all in the fourth quarter, I believe. We may have gotten a free throw. No points for Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter. He was 0 for 4. Okay, that you got to get in front of him. You got to make Giannis go through you. Here, another, that's Josh Hart acting like an usher, helping Lillard get to his seat. There we go. Beautiful play there by Brunson, the left hand. Now we're getting down to the end of the third. It's looking like, maybe the Knicks have one more run in them. One more run. Let's see here. Bobby Portis. I miss Bobby Portis. I liked him when he was on the Knicks. This guy Jackson plays some good defense for the Bucks. He's a rookie from UConn. And here we go. It's to end the third. So the Knicks go down, I believe. Yeah. So we're down 13 into the fourth. You need to have a good beginning to a fourth quarter. So that's what the Bucks did. Immediately, the lead just ballooned. It was 15 points right there. RJ finally hits a three-pointer. RJ did have a nice fourth quarter. He was 4 of 7 overall. Shot 57.1% in that fourth quarter. Hit both of his three-point shots then. He was 0 for 3 from 3 by then. He was 1 for 10 at that point, and then before the fourth quarter. He finished with 10 points, 4 rebounds in that fourth quarter. So you can see, look, it's like we're teasing everybody. Look, it's now it's like a 22-point lead right there. Game was out of hand. Game was pretty much over at that point. Hartenstein doing his nice Mitch Robinson impersonation there. And this is probably the last highlight I'll show. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to this. All right. What did I want to point out here? So the bench was ineffectual. Nobody in double digits from the bench. I think they scored a total of 13 points only from the bench. That's abysmal. Dante, he had his three-point shot going. I kind of wish we had fed him a little more. RJ didn't need to take 17 shots. That's for sure. I would love for at least 5 more of those shots to go DiVincenzo's way, and maybe he hits 2 of those, and those are 3-point shots. Things it can turn the momentum of a game when that happens. One thing. Let's listen to Thibodeau.
Yeah, they got a lot of weapons, so you got to fly around, and there's times where we did it, times we didn't do it as well as we should have. But every aspect of the game we were a step behind. So whether it was defensive transition, usually we're a very good rebounding team. We didn't rebound the ball. So.
All right, I'm going to finish it right there. I was having some technical difficulties. So they play again, Christmas Day. For me, it'll be Christmas morning. I'll tell you, if the Knicks come out with the same effort on Christmas Day that they came out with today, it's going to be a loss unless the Bucks just completely, come out and play a terrible, terrible game. But if the Bucks play even their B+ level of game, that's gonna beat us if we don't come out with more intensity. We need to match them, bucket for bucket, and get stops. For long stretches there in that game, we were unable to get any real stops, to get momentum, to get out on the fast break. Nothing, which is why we lost that 22-11, the fast break points. And I think that's a key stat for this team. We need to get easier buckets, as you heard Thibs talk about in that postgame. Easier buckets. These are the times when we do miss guys like Obi. He gets us easy buckets, so someone else has to step up in that respect. Let's hope that they come out with the fire and desire, and somehow Brunson can repeat tonight's effort on Christmas Day, and a couple other guys can join him, and we could pull off this win and finally get the split, get the Christmas day. Well, not Christmas Day, but the Christmas days split. Let's hope that'll happen. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts about this. And let's go Knicks. Let's go. I'll see you around the Knicks-Verse.